Do you have
in
gay
my
friends?
heart.
You have Jewish friends?
have,
You have gay friends?
I'm trying to be funny.
You have been co-opted because you're in a cult and you don't even realize it because you have stupid MAGA brain.
Are you homophobic? No, seriously, I want to know.
You're such an absurd
I thought you would say,
human
of course
being.
I have gay friends.
You're just such an absurd.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about Don Lemonade, Lemonhead, Lemonade Stand, Mr. Sweet Don Lemon. Okay, this guy has been reeling. He's totally delirious and still reeling from getting this beating in this election. Okay, this shellacking, still in a term from Barack Hussein Obama. Okay, this was a thrashing. Okay, a black woman got beat down by a white man. Okay, because it was pretty bad. And as you can see, these people need to try to take every win that they could get, because there's some controversy going on right now with Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, Donald Trump, and MAGA, right? Effectively, for those who don't understand what's going on with this, there's a lot of conversation about visas, specifically H-1B visas, okay? So a lot of this really revolves around, from Elon Musk's perspective, people in the tech industry wanting to basically have certain people's visas that are highly skilled want to have their visas fast-tracked, okay? And some people have a problem with that because, you know, effectively you could have some abuse of that system, and some of those people could kind of just overwrite skilled American workers. Okay, so I get both sides of it. Now, in general, I will say that I am more in favor of Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy's point of view, and Donald Trump has also supported this. So they're all aligned. They're acting like this is a civil war, but it's really not. I mean, at least the leaders are all aligned here. Now, there's some people in the party who disagree, but as far as I know, that's always been the case. Like, nobody, for the most part, is against all forms of immigration and stuff like that. But Don Lemon seems to think that's the case. Now, is there going to be some people who feel like, well, American workers are in jeopardy, so they don't support this regardless? Of course, there's going to be some people that feel like that. But hey, the Democrats, as soon as the election was over, said that they hope that people who voted for Trump get deported.
Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope he mass deports you and your entire family, whether you were here legally or not. You gotta go.
Especially the Hispanics people, and they said they hope the black people get killed by the cops. So it's not like the Republicans exclusively say crazy things or anything like that. The radical leftists, well, I'll just put it this way, there's a reason why I keep calling them radical in every damn video. Without further ado, let's get into Don Lemonhead and what his crazy butt has to say about this, because he is extremely obnoxious in his video. So I guess trigger alert for anybody who can't stand this weirdo's voice. Let's get into it.
Oh, and also, you know, we're going to deport migrants. Oh my gosh. And they work in the tech fields, a lot of them. In Silicon Valley, a lot of them. And no, now they're figuring out, without these people, we cannot do our tech jobs. But guess who knew that? The tech bros knew that. The folks who are supporting Donald Trump, the folks who you want to put in charge of the Doges already knew that. And so it is the same thing. There's a correlation here. They're realizing if you get rid of these, and it's HB1 visa folks, that's what they're fighting over. I'll get to that and explain. If you get rid of those folks, then the tech folks can't do their jobs. The technology industry. Just as if you try to get rid of the migrants and some of the folks who come here, quite honestly, illegally, then you can't. Then folks in the farming industry, in the service industries, and in any other industries, they won't be able to do their jobs. Some farmers say, without these workers, they have about 2 days that they can run their farms.
So I want to address this point here, because this is one of the most annoying things that I've seen from the left, is basically moving goalposts. Like, the goalpost starts in one place and then it just keeps on moving and moving and moving. So goalpost starts here. illegal immigration is not a problem. It's not happening. So why worry about it? Okay. Then it's too much to deny. Goalpost moves here. Well, maybe it's some illegal immigration and there's a crisis at the border, but now it's Trump's fault. Then you move it all the way over here. Well, illegal immigration is good now. It is extremely annoying to see these moving goalposts from these radical leftists who don't want to admit that they're ever wrong about anything. Okay, and that the border is open and that they screwed up and that they need stronger border security, right? So here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. They're basically arguing in favor of slavery. Yes, you heard that right. For those who aren't thinking about this properly, what's the argument that they made? One of the biggest arguments that they made during slavery is that they were going to kill the industry. Well, there's no way they can compete. At the time, China was doing the same thing they're doing today. They knew that they needed to compete with other nations with cheap labor. There's a reason why America's so rich, because of cheap labor. There's a reason why America's being able to maintain being rich. Cheap labor. Okay, and what they're arguing in favor of here is there's always a transfer. So they want to transfer it from slavery overt into prison-based slavery. Okay, well, there's only so much you could do with that. So what do? You have a bunch of illegal migrants come in and basically have them work for pennies or a couple dollars or whatever, way less than what you're paying American workers. That's basically what people like Don Lemon and a bunch of these radical, dumb leftists don't understand, is that they're basically arguing in favor of cheap labor, which many would argue is slavery. A lot of people in America call it slavery when they're referring to China, and they get paid over there. It's not totally slavery, but it's real close. And that's what they're arguing in favor of. And I think that that's wrong. What Elon Musk is arguing in favor of is to have talented workers. Like when you look at the numbers for a second, and I'm gonna let Lemonhead continue here in a minute. Look at the numbers. There's millions upon millions of people that are crossing the border and taking the lower class jobs. There's way more of those people in America than there are high class illegal aliens that have high skills in the tech industry. So in tech, it makes more sense. You're pulling top talent. It makes a lot more sense to have the H-1B visas for them and to have different programs that favor that. It makes way less sense to get a bunch of people over here taking a bunch of damn farming jobs when you could just pay workers to do it. And if the farms can't keep up with that, then there needs to be something different that happens. For example, hire Americans and maybe get some government subsidies or something, but you don't just have a bunch of illegals doing the damn work because it's the only way to maintain the freaking farm. Like, are you freaking crazy? The only people that can do the construction, the only people in these hospitality jobs, it's supposed to be illegal for a damn reason. And if they need a certain amount of people to do it, that they get in their temporary protected status, stuff like that, that's considered legal. Okay, cool, do that as long as it makes sense and it's legal, but don't do it for 10, 20 million illegals across the board. That's where it's like you're straight up disenfranchising Americans. This whole stuff with the tech industry is not disenfranchising Americans, I would argue, hardly at all. There's nowhere near millions of jobs in the tech industry. It's just not like that. So even whatever amount that comes over from overseas, I think it's fair to compete with them. And I don't know anybody in the tech industry. I tell you right now, as a person who works in the tech industry, I don't know anybody who struggles getting jobs. And for those of y'all who don't work in the tech industry, take my word for it. If you know somebody struggling to get a job in the tech industry, let me know, because I'll be shocked. And it probably honestly means that they're not that good.
And then after that, it's over. Oh my gosh, I love this. Now you're finding out, you dumb fucking idiots. Now you're just figuring this shit out. You're so fucking stupid and you deserve it. You fucking deserve it because you're so dumb. Jim, it's hypocrisy. So go with me here. Yes, I am gloating over your stupidity and how you were taken I'm cackling in Kamala, says in Shanta. You have been co-opted because you're in a fucking cult and you don't even realize it because you have stupid MAGA brain and you don't get it. How stupid and dumb are you? And I'm just gonna I can't wait to go through this. Okay.
So Don Lemon is saying all it is because he's saying that we need immigrant. I love how they always change the verbiage. What the argument has been about is illegal immigration and finding ridiculous ways to try to circumvent, first off, lie about it and circumvent the process. So then you close the border. Like the border is open for like 4 years straight. You close it and then you just start flying people in and saying, well, our border crossings are down, but you're flying people in. You can have immigration. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy would be considered immigrants. At least Vivek Ramaswamy's parents were. I think Elon Musk, he was born in South Africa. Nobody has a problem and wants them to be deported or anything. The problem people have is you freaking Consuela in a gang walking across the damn border with like 10 babies and a bunch of military aged men walking across the border talking about they're looking for better opportunities, literally coming here to take jobs and resources away from Americans. That's the problem that people have. What the hell is Don Lemon even talking about?
So I'm going to read this again. So Krishnan's appointment triggered an anti-Indian backlash on social media, particularly given his past advocacy for increasing green cards and immigration broadly. Oh no, immigration. We can't do the immigration because it's hot in here, guys. Sorry. Woo! Thank you. We can't do the immigration because, the immigration, it triggers some people. You know what they're saying about the anti-immigrant stuff, right? Who's in to say that one of the jobs you might be seeking won't be one of those white jobs? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Did I miss the joke there? Like I'm so confused.
Oh my gosh. So, people online are saying anti-Indian backlash. Now remember, I want you to remember Vivek Ramaswamy, who is an immigrant, who's an Indian immigrant. His parents, right, were immigrants. I don't remember if it was legal or illegal, but I think under certain thing like that they're proposing, and I think Project 2025, like he could be deported. Like under those same rules. It is crazy. The hypocrisy is crazy. And while folks like Vivek Ramaswamy should...
So we got... This guy had the audacity to say stupid MAGA brains, and he's still talking about Project 2025. Guys, I tried watching a lot of Lemon's video to see if he like further explained what the hell he was talking about. And I'm not really seeing the explanation here. It seems like he's just laughing because he thinks that, I guess, people that voted for Trump don't understand that illegal immigration can help the economy sometimes. Well, it also hurts the economy because it helps create more inflation. It takes jobs away from people, right? Like the amount of money and resources that they need to spend is not good, right? Like it increases rent. I mean, all the problems that we have under this administration, a big part of that is because of a combination of illegal immigration, all the war, all the green new scam stuff. It's a combination of all those things. So there's a push and pull to all of it. But we know one thing, we didn't have these problems before when Donald Trump was president and the border was closed. This entire video was pretty much Don Lemon is sitting here laughing and saying MAGA is exposed and how stupid MAGA is for supporting Trump and not understanding that illegal immigration was required, and also outing themselves for hating Indians, even though Vivek Ramaswamy has and still is an extremely popular fellow. Elon Musk is from Africa, born in Africa, extremely popular still, right? Like Kash Patel has been nominated as FBI director, and I literally don't think I've ever seen a single complaint from any political Republicans, like people that are like in like congressional, I should say, Republicans in terms of anybody, certainly in my comments and any comments I've looked at anywhere and different videos I've watched, I've never seen a single person complain about Kash Patel. So it's not like conservatives just like hate anybody. I mean, most of the people watching this channel are not even black. A lot of them aren't even conservative and they like the channel. So it's not like everybody thinks the same way. And I think that that's a good thing. Everybody can think differently, and it's good to get these ideas across so maybe we can understand the pros and cons and move accordingly. That's why you had this coalition with people like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., because you don't have this right-wing echo chamber. If that exists, I don't know where. But on the left, you definitely have left-wing echo chambers. And Don Lemon, don't forget, used to be a CNN reporter, was fired, cooked, because he was so delusional, so much of a hack, even his own co-hosts couldn't get along with him. As a matter of fact, he really hates Vivek Ramaswamy because Vivek partially might have been responsible for him getting terminated, if you guys remember the conversation that two of them had.
That war was fought for black people to have freedoms in this country. Yeah. Actually, that's why the Civil War was fought.
Okay.
And the sad part about it,
that wasn't fought for black people to have guns. I think.
Actually, you know, funny fact is, black people did not get to enjoy the other freedoms until their Second Amendment rights were secured. And I think that that's one of the lessons that we learned.
Black people still aren't allowed to enjoy the freedoms.
I disagree with you on that, Don. I disagree with you. I think you're doing a disservice to our country by failing to recognize the fact that we have equality before the law.
When you are in black skin and you live in this country, then you can disagree with me, but we're not. You mentioned in here that we have three different shades of melanin.
Don, I think we have to be able to talk about these issues in the open regardless of the color of our skin. Black Americans today, to say that, compare that to 1865 and 1964,
I think for you to compare it to 1865 and
have equal rights in this country.
Actually, I think it's insulting to black people. It's insulting to me as an African American. I don't want to sit here and argue with you because it's infuriating for you to put those things together. It's not right. Your telling of history is wrong.
What part of the history was wrong?
What part of the history was wrong? That the Civil War was fought. You're making people think that the Civil War was fought for black people, only for black people to get guns and for black people to have.
The Civil War was fought for black people in this country to get freedoms, a noble mission. And I think that even after we succeeded, we had to actually secure those freedoms.
To reduce it in a speech at the NRA to say you're making people think, or you're trying to say that black people to get guns, that was the reason that you're there at the NRA. That was the reason for the Civil War.
It is a fact.
That's reductive.
It's not
and
reductive,
I think it's
Don.
Insulting. There are a whole plethora of reasons that for the Civil War.
With due respect, I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to black Americans, to say that black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was part of what secured
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on one second. So to say that black people, say what you said again?
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to happen.
And you know how they got it?
They
got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got, the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the NRA
did not play a big role in that.
They trained black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role in that.
This is just historical fact. But
Don, the
part that I find,
because you say it's historical fact,
the part that I find insulting is when you say today black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have a different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
Black and white that black people don't have in this country, and that black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate
I'm not saying you
without me regarding you as a black man,
but
me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That you're
That's what I
sitting
think we should
here,
see.
whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity
about what it's like to be black.
Whatever
in America.
ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white, doesn't matter.
Honestly, guys, I'm getting loser vibes from Lemon. I'm getting sore loser and loser vibes. Sore loser for Kamala Harris losing the election and him feeling some sort of way about it and trying to take any perceived win that he can. And I'm getting loser vibes because he's sitting out here, you know, those people at CNN get paid like millions of dollars, right? Whatever amount Don Lemon is getting paid now, I can assure you is probably like less than a 20th of what he was getting paid before. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. What a freaking fall from grace. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
You're just an absurd human being. Are you homophobic? Oh my God. I was just like, what does homophobia actually mean? Can you give me a definition of homophobia? If I was homophobic, would I be doing like this show? Do you think I'm like scared? Like I'm like, oh my God, look, there's a gay man. I'm so scared. It's
No, not at all.
Have a phobia is like to have a phobia, a fear of, like, you know, you think I fear like two gay men that are walking down the street holding hands? Like, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't fear anything but God.